this corner, the High Priest Imhotep from The Mummy, and in this corner, Larry Talbot, the Wolf Man. Both of them are horror icons, but which one is top dog? Place your bets, it's time for another Versus. Welcome to 5 Points of Articulation, where I review action figures and then articulate 5 points to help you decide if you want to add that figure to your collection. The 5 points I discuss are packaging, presentation, poseability, playability, and price. I'm Jason, and if you enjoy my content, please like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube rigmarole. It's halfway to Halloween, and what better way to celebrate than with a monster mashup? Starting off the packaging, we have some wonderful Ultimate style NECA boxes. These ones feature the original poster art from the films. I love these old style posters and really miss this art form. Really nice product shots on the side. If I had one complaint, the matte finish kind of washes the picture out. Speaking of which, we get completely different pictures on the other side. Tossing in my Frankenstein's monster, and this is really shaping up to be a nice little series. For those who want it, here's the barcode of the Mummy, and here's the barcode for the Wolfman. Flipping them around, and we get an absolutely gorgeous collage of product shots. I love how the Mummy has a really warm color scheme, and the Wolfman has a really cool. Of course, just like the Mummy's tomb, the real magic is underneath the lid. This is not only a great product shot, it's also a really nice teaser for the upcoming accessory set. And then over here we see all the goodies that Imhotep has in store for us. Before I open the flap of the Wolfman, I just want to point out this inaccuracy. Poor Larry here is depicted as having a mustache, but that is actually not correct. As we can see, NECA made it right. Even so, the promotional shots are pretty sweet. For packaging, this round is a draw. Moving on to presentation, and the Mummy stands at 7 inches, and the Wolfman stands at 7 1/4. First impressions, and these figures are breathtaking. Every line and crackle has been painstakingly recreated, and they did a wonderful job of transitioning the flesh tone into gray. Similarly, all of Lon Chaney Jr.'s personality shines through. His eyes are as piercing as his adorable little underbite, and I have to give credit where credit's due for this fantastic fur texture. Swinging back over the Mummy, and all of his bandages have been painstakingly sculpted. It does a pretty good job of concealing the articulation, and of course there's a wonderful wash to bring out all that detail. Great job on his ring and his grimy fingers. We also get a couple of mummy toes poking out, and they continued all those bandages underneath. The Wolfman's wearing a basic green Dickie style shirt and khakis, and I can't help but feel like I've seen this somewhere before. Oh yeah, Jason Voorhees. I mean, this can't be a coincidence, right? The makers of Friday the 13th had to have done this on purpose. The big difference, of course, is that Jason is more loosey-goosey, and Larry is all tucked in and ready to go to Sunday meeting. Zooming on in, we can see the Wolfman's got nards. Little inside joke for you Monster Squad fans. Moving on down the arm, he's got some fuzzy werewolf hands, and some big ol' werewolf feet. Interestingly enough, each foot only has 4 toes. Also, the foot is slightly angled like a tri-segmented leg. As such, the peg holes are at the ball of the foot instead of the heel. It took makeup legend Jack Pierce 8 hours to transform Boris Karloff into Imhotep. Conversely, it took him about 5 to 6 hours to turn Lon Chaney Jr. into the Wolfman. Every detail of these monsters has been meticulously recreated, and it's impossible to pick a favorite. For presentation, this round is another draw. Moving on to poseability, and the differences between these two figures are so distinct that it's scary. From the top, and both figures have joints at both the base of the skull and the base of the neck. They can look up this much, this far down, really great tilt, and all the way around. They each have a swivel hinge shoulder, but the Wolfman has slightly better range. That said, the Mummy has bicep swivel and double jointed swivel elbows. They can swivel at the top and twist at the forearm. Using both, and you can recreate this classic Mummy pose. Conversely, the Wolfman has a single jointed swivel elbow. In spite of being a single joint, it does cut pretty deep, but both figures have swivel hinge wrists. They hinge up this far and down this far. Shifting the torso, and the Mummy has a diaphragm joint, and the Wolfman has a pretty nice shirt. That said, both figures have articulation in the waist. The Mummy can arch back a little bit and hunch over a little bit. He can also tilt and twist. The Wolfman doesn't really get any forward and back, but he can twist. Below the waist, and both figures have ball-jointed hips. The Mummy can kick forward this far and split this far. The Wolfman kicks this far and splits this far. Similar to a DC multiverse, the Mummy has a surprising amount of twist. The Wolfman, not as much. Both figures have single-jointed swivel knees and ankles that hinge and pivot. Unlike the Mummy, the Wolfman has bootcut rotation. That said, he does have a twist in the knee, so it does kind of balance out. If you had told me that between the Mummy and the Wolfman that the Mummy would be more limber, I'd have said you were crazy. And yet, here we are. For poseability, this round goes to the Mummy. Moving on to playability, and NECA really went all out. Starting with the mummy, and he comes with 3 interchangeable heads. We've already seen the sleepy time one. He also has this one for before he's had his morning coffee, clearly based on the same mold, and I gotta admit those eyes are creepy. He also comes with an open mouth one for sucking them dry. That's a Brendan Fraser mummy reference. He also comes with a few extra bandages, because mummies love to rap. I'll see myself out. In terms of hands, he comes pre-packed with these static ones. He also comes with a more menacing coming to get you hand. And hey, I got 2 right-handed ones. Lucky me. Lastly, the mummy comes with a chest. I'm guessing that this is supposed to be set, you know, because you gotta set it down. These, of course, were the original emojis. And inside, we have a scroll. A scroll. And thanks to Moon Knight, I know all about the scales and the crocodile. On the subject of Moon Knight, this would make a great base body for a custom Khonshu. Moving on to the Wolfman, and this one is absolutely next level. From the top, and we've already seen the head he comes preloaded with. That said, he also comes with a snarly one. I'm not crazy about the side eye, but it's accurate. He also comes with the world's smallest figure stand. This is so he can walk on his tippy toes. And he better watch those toes, because he also comes with this bear trap. Not only is this incredibly lifelike, but the rust detailing is spot on, and it hinges, not only at the teeth, but even at the spring. Ow! But if all that wasn't enough, this figure is essentially 2 characters in one. Not only is he the Wolfman, he's also Larry Talbot. Near as I can tell, this is the very first action figure of Lon Chaney Jr.'s face ever made. And if you have any idea just how important Lon Chaney Jr. is to horror, you'd know that this is something really special. In addition to alternate human hands, he also has alternate human feet. He also has an additional hand for holding an additional accessory, the wolf's head cane. This cane is important because a werewolf can only be defeated by silver. Do be warned, this stick is very thin and very stiff. If you're not careful, it could easily break. But playability is more than just accessories, it's also about how well your figure plays with others. First things first, and here they are with the Frankenstein's monster. Amazing when you consider that both he and the mummy were played by Boris Karloff. Moving ahead to some modern monsters, and here we have Jason Voorhees. Again, a lot of similarities between him and the Wolfman. Here we have Freddy Krueger. This one's from Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Here we have Michael Myers from Halloween 2018. Here we have Pennywise. I think this draws a lot of inspiration from the mummy. For my last NECA monster, here we have Chucky. This gives me an idea. Gah! 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 For a NECA civilian/victim, here we have Burke from Aliens. For a DC Multiverse comparison, here we have Bizarro. I picked him because he's pretty much a monster version of Superman. For a Marvel Legends comparison, and here we have Beast from X-Men. He kinda looks like the Wolfman. For the only other Mummy and Wolfman figures I have, here are a couple from Big Bad Beetleborgs, and here are a couple from the real Ghostbusters. For a Rotoscale comparison, here they are with Pizza Spidey and the Spectacular Spider-Man. And of course, here they are with Stealth Iron Man. Admittedly, the Mummy comes with some very cool accessories, but he doesn't hold a candle to the Wolfman. Additionally, the Mummy's getting his own accessory set, making this figure feel almost incomplete. For playability, this round goes to the Wolfman. This leaves us with nothing left to discuss but the price. These two are tied 3-3, so it all comes down to this. I found the Wolfman and the Mummy at Target for $35 each. Now you might think that because they're the same price that this round would be another draw. And don't get me wrong, the Mummy is very impressive, but just like Larry Talbot himself, the Wolfman is 2-1. For price, this round goes to the Wolfman, who wins the battle 4-3. For a couple of other NECA monster figures, click here, and happy halfway to Halloween. I'll be back again real soon, but until then, play nice and have fun.